Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to make a fun peekaboo tumbler, my favorite. So I'm going to start out with my 20-ounce traditional tumbler, and I'm going to use my UV resin to apply my glitter today. You can use regular epoxy, glitter glue, whatever adhesive you like best. I'm just using UV resin because sometimes I just don't feel like mixing up epoxy. So I'm going to put a little bit of that on my tumbler, and you can see that I've painted my cup half and half pink and teal, just two of my favorite colors. I'm making this mug for myself, so of course feel free to do whatever colors you prefer. Anyway, I'm just going to spread this UV resin in a thin layer all over the surface of my tumbler, and then we can go right into our glittering. So the first glitter color I'm going to use is one of my favorites of all time. This color I don't think could be used too much ever, in my opinion. I love it so much. It's Kaneohe from Peachy Olive Glitters. And so what I'm going to do here with my glitters is not really an ombre. Because we're going to do this as a peekaboo, we really don't need these two colors to blend together super nicely. So what I'm going to do is just try to get really nice full coverage in the bottom teal section, and then really nice full coverage in our top pink section, and not worry too much about getting like the best ombre in the world, because it's going to get covered up with our peekaboo anyway. For the pink section up top, I'm going to use Barbie, of course. This is a custom mix that I made with Peachy Olive Glitters, and it's the best pink in the world. No biased opinion at all. If you don't have Barbie, I know it's been sold out for a really long time. I don't know when it's restocking or if it's restocking. That's not a question for me, but I do get asked that all the time. If you don't have Barbie, you can use Preppy or As If, or if you want something a little more neon pink, you can use Cool Mom or Wednesdays. Those are the same color, just different cuts, if you're looking for a pink alternative to Barbie. All right, so after our glitters have been applied, this is what the cup looks like. As you can see, that middle part is not really blended very well at all, but again, we don't care because it's getting peekabooed. So after my glitter was cured under my UV lamp, I added 2 coats of epoxy to the tumbler, and I'm using, of course, my Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Fast Cure epoxy. Each of my coats was about 15 to 20 milliliters, and now at this point, I've got those 2 coats cured, and I've done a light round of sanding on my cup, so it's pretty smooth. Now I can go in with my stencils. We're going to do a very Mal vibe design here. So with my stencil vinyl, I cut out some cute little groovy flowers, some stars, some lightning bolts, and then the circles that you see will be smiley faces later when we add our outlines. So I'm just going to take these little pieces of stencil vinyl and place them randomly around the cup. The only thing I'm focusing on is not putting any of my stencils in that middle section of the tumbler where our 2 glitters meet. I don't want to show that I didn't blend my glitters super well. So I want essentially there to be a top pink peekaboo section and then a bottom teal peekaboo section, and that horrible blending in the middle will be covered with our glitter, and then we'll add some other things too to really fill in that space. So I'm just going to fill in as much space as I can with my stencils in those 2 glitter spots, and then we'll move on to painting and glittering and all that other stuff. Okay, so after all of my stencils were placed, I went outside and spray painted my tumbler white. I used matte white spray paint from Rust-Oleum, and once that was fully dry, I was ready to apply my glue and my glitter over the top of this. Now, if you don't want to do an outer glitter layer, you definitely don't have to, but I think it always looks really nice, and it kind of covers any imperfections that you might have in your tumbler, like if you missed a spot sanding or anything. It covers all of those little imperfections up. So what I'm going to do before I apply my glue and my glitter is go through with my Sharpie and mark up all of my stencils so that I can see them underneath the glitter. This just makes them so much easier to peel up. Like, you can find them under the glitter so much easier. So I highly recommend taking the time to do this. Once I've got my stencils all marked up, I'm going to go in with my adhesive. Now for this peekaboo, I'm going to use the Southern Belle Glitter Foil Adhesive, but I'm not going to be doing a tack it or burnishing method like I normally would when I use this foil adhesive. The reason I'm using this for this peekaboo instead of like epoxy method or glitter glue or something else is because I can get this foil adhesive to be technically dry. It'll still be tacky, so obviously the glitter will still stick, but once we apply our glitter, we'll be able to seal the glitter right away and then peel our stencils up. So that essentially eliminates a step and saves us some time in the long run. So if you want to use a different adhesive for the glitter, you absolutely can, but that's why I'm using the foil adhesive here. So I'm going to apply that to my tumbler, let it dry for at least an hour. If you need to let it sit for longer, you can. And then I'm going to go in with my glitter. So I'm using Nookie here from Peachy Olive Glitters. I'm going to put this all over my tumbler, clean up my glitter mess, and then I'm going to go immediately into sealing the glitter, of course, before I peel the stencils up. For peely peely time, I'm using my pin pen from TECKWRAP Craft, and I'm just going to very carefully get under the edge of my stencil vinyl and lift those stencils up, being really careful not to scratch the glitter layer that we have over our stencils. So as always, you want to take your time peeling your stencils up. This is literally the best part of doing peekaboos. Revealing the glitter underneath just gives me like all of the endorphins, dopamine, whatever you want to call it. I love doing peekaboos for this reason. It's just so satisfying. So here's what our cup looks like so far with all of our glitter revealed underneath the peekaboo. So I'm going to let this dry for about 2 hours, and then I'm going to add 2 coats of epoxy over this glitter layer. Each of those coats will be maybe like 15-ish milliliters. They don't need to be super thick because we used a fine cut glitter, so everything should be relatively easy to get smooth. And once I've got those 2 coats over our white glitter, we can add the outlines to our peekaboo and really bring everything to life. For the outlines, I'm using my textured onyx metallic-y vinyl from TECKWRAP Craft. I like using textured vinyl for outlines and things over glitter just in case anything isn't super perfectly smooth. The textured vinyl kind of helps hide those imperfections, just like the glitter over a peekaboo will help hide the imperfections and any bumps and anything you've got on your tumbler. Doing textured vinyl over your glitter will help if you've got any other bumps going on. I just like using textured vinyl instead of regular vinyl, but of course use whatever you want. Now to fill in all of that white space that we had from where we didn't place those stencils where our glitter wasn't blended, I cut out some of those same shapes that I used for the peekaboo out of the colorful pearl vinyl from TECKWRAP Craft. So I'm using the aqua and the pink, and I'm just going to place these little shapes wherever we've got that empty white space to make everything look more cohesive, kind of bring the two sections together, and of course, fill all of those spaces in. After all of that vinyl work, I'm going to add another coat of epoxy to the tumbler. I'm still using the Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Fast Cure epoxy, and now I'm ready to apply my decal. Of course, if you don't want to do a decal with this sort of design, you definitely don't have to. This is such a cute and full complete tumbler design just on its own if you don't want to do a quote or name or anything like that. But I really like this quote and I wanted to use it on a tumbler. So I made the SVG. The quote says, "Be the energy you want to attract." If you want to use the same decal, I will have this listed on my website if you want to grab it. And what I'm going to do is do a super thin black offset, which is what I'm putting on the tumbler now. And then for the top layer, I'm going to use some silver textured metallic vinyl. I wanted to keep the decal really simple, so I just used the plain black to tie in the black outlines, and then the silver textured metallic on top just kind of ties everything together. So once I had the decal applied, I added my final 2 coats of epoxy to the tumbler. For the final 2 coats, I used the Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Artist Cure epoxy for maximum UV protection. And that's it. Here's the final tumbler design. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. I love doing peekaboos, as you know if you watch my channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see on the channel for holiday season, Halloween, Christmas. Let me know. And thanks so much for watching as always. I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, love you. Bye. Hello friends, thanks so much for watching this video. I want to say a huge special thank you to my elite fam, my channel members, and my subscribers. You all make this channel possible, so thank you so much for being part of the fam. If you want more exclusive content from me, you can join my elite fam at patreon.com/elitefam. You can find my tumblers and digital files on my website, madebymalstudio.com. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram at madebymal_studio. Here's another video for you to check out, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Love you. Bye.